from the heart of the city, and now on demand 24/7 on the CHFI website. This is the soundtrack to all that a woman is, and more. And I'm Don Jackson. Barbara McClintock said, if you know you are on the right track, if you have this inner knowledge, then nobody can turn you off, regardless of what they say. Wallace Simpson, Duchess of Windsor, said, a woman's life can really be a succession of lives, each revolving around some emotionally compelling situation or challenge, and each marked off by some intense experience. This hour, some thoughts on what makes a woman who she is, with Lovers and Other Strangers from CHFI.com. Lovers and Other Strangers at CHFI.com. Hayley Sales with What You Want, and Enrique Iglesias and Hero. My wife and I bought a little book in a linen shop in the French Quarter of New Orleans some years back. This was before Katrina, and I've often wondered if that little shop survived the deluge. It is called A Woman Is, edited by Bridget Sullivan, published by Andrews and McNeil. In it was this wonderful sentiment, featured in a Chinese religious book. Of all the love, kindness, and pleasure a man can experience in this world, nothing is more beautiful than the love of a woman. If it is granted him, and the two have a child together, they are fused in a single heart in the child, which is truly the most pleasing thing love and kindness can give. And this will always be a bond between them. Wisdom from so long ago, but still relevant today. The marriage may not last, but that bond as parents always will. Lovers and Other Strangers from CHFI.com. You're listening to Lovers and Other Strangers on demand at CHFI.com. Fight for Fighting with the Riddle and Martina McBride in My Daughter's Eyes. Many different moods in our music and thoughts tonight. Edith Wharton wrote, the real marriage of true minds is for any two people to possess a sense of humor or irony pitched in exactly the same key, so that their joint glances at any subject cross like interarching searchlights. I've found there have been many times when my wife and I are on the same wavelength, and that's what she's getting at. Judith Viorst in Red Book magazine some years back wrote, even in a marriage that is fundamentally fine, we may have to live with a certain amount of loneliness. No two people match perfectly, and parts of ourselves may never be understood by the person we had hoped would be our soulmate. There's nothing my husband can do that will ever get me to share his mania for professional football. There's nothing I can do that will make him love the poems of Yeats. The fates of husbands and wives may be linked until death do them part, and yet there will be moments, important moments, in marriage when one may turn to the other in desperate search of a reassuring, I know what you mean, and draw a look of incomprehension instead. People only partly connect, even with their nearest and their dearest. Judith Viorst writing in Red Book magazine. And Madeleine L'Engle said, sometimes idiosyncrasies, which used to be irritating, become endearing. Part of the complexity of a partner who has become woven deep into our own selves. Lovers and Other Strangers from CHFI.com. You're listening to Lovers and Other Strangers on demand at CHFI.com. Michael Buble, Lost, and John Lennon with Woman. This hour, and even into our next program, All That a Woman Is. Writings from so many different sources, including this. The poet Sarah Teasdale wrote, "She must be rich who can forego an hour so jeweled with delight. She must have treasuries of joy that she can draw on day and night. She must be very sure of heaven. Or is it only that she feels how much more safe it is to lack a thing that time so often steals?" Madeleine L'Engle also wrote, "A long-term marriage has to move beyond chemistry to compatibility, to friendship, to companionship. It is certainly not that passion disappears, but that it is conjoined with other ways of love." Lovers and Other Strangers from CHFI.com. You're listening to Lovers and Other Strangers on demand at CHFI.com. Lights to Drive My Soul and Bryan Adams, Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman? Pearl Buck said, "Nothing in life is as good as the marriage of true minds between man and woman. As good. It is life itself." Anne Morrow Lindbergh wrote, "Love is a force. It is not a result. It is a cause. It is not a product. It is a power like money or steam or electricity. It is valueless unless you can give something else by means of it." And the great actress Katharine Hepburn once remarked, "Love has nothing to do with what you are expecting to get, only with what you are expecting to give, which is everything." Lovers and Other Strangers from CHFI.com. Colbie, Caillat, All Bubbly, Blue Rodeo with 5 Days in May, and Whitney Houston, and Saving All My Love for You. You're listening to the on-demand edition of Lovers and Other Strangers at CHFI.com. This hour and the next that will be posted tomorrow devoted to all that a woman is, or at least part of the essence of all that she is. Anzia Yeziurska wrote, "If I had never met him, I would have dreamed him into being." I've also liked this quote from the actress Jacqueline Bisset, quoted in the Los Angeles Times as saying, "Character contributes to beauty. It fortified a woman as her youth fades. A mode of conduct, a standard of courage, discipline, fortitude, integrity can do a great deal to make a woman beautiful." Annie Sophie Swetchin wrote, "To love deeply in one direction makes us more loving in all others." And finally tonight, Iris Murdoch, who wrote, "The absolute yearning of one human body for another particular one, and its indifference to substitutes, is one of life's major mysteries." A mystery indeed. Lovers and Other Strangers from CHFI.com. Norah Jones and Don't Know Why, Amanda Marshall with Dark Horse, and James Blunt and You're Beautiful. Our next program will carry on where we left off. And that concludes this edition of Lovers and Other Strangers, available on demand 24/7 to fit your busy lifestyle. My blog is still available to be read at chfi.com. Just follow the links on the homepage, and your emails and comments are always welcome and appreciated. You can post them on my blog on the CHFI website. I'd still like to believe you listen at night. If not, you can save this for later. Good night, sweet dreams. I'm Don Jackson.